Tired of complicated recipes that leave you feeling overwhelmed and frustrated in the kitchen? Yearning for a delicious meal without the fuss and endless steps? Imagine a dinner that's not only tasty, but also incredibly simple to prepare. I have just the thing for you. Say goodbye to the stress and hello to a delightful cooking experience. Introducing a 3-ingredient wonder that will revolutionize your dinner routine. With just 3 simple ingredients, you can create a meal that's not only quick and easy, but also bursting with flavor. Imagine preparing a dish that takes minimal effort, yet delivers maximum taste. This recipe is perfect for those busy weeknights when you want something delicious without spending hours in the kitchen. Get ready to impress yourself and your loved ones with this simple, yet flavorful dish. It's time to make dinner easy and enjoyable. Let's get cooking and transform your mealtime into a delightful experience. We often think more ingredients equal more flavor. Not always true. Sometimes, simplicity is key. Using fewer, high-quality ingredients lets their natural flavors shine. Plus, less chopping, less measuring, less cleaning. This recipe proves that delicious doesn't have to mean difficult. Let's meet our culinary heroes. First up, we have juicy, ripe tomatoes. They bring sweetness and a touch of acidity. Next, creamy burrata cheese adds richness and a luxurious texture. Finally, fresh basil provides a burst of aromatic freshness. Together, they create a symphony of flavors. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius. This step is crucial as it ensures that your tomatoes and burrata cook evenly and develop a beautiful golden brown color. While the oven is heating up, you can start preparing the other ingredients. Make sure to give your oven enough time to reach the desired temperature, as this will make a significant difference in the final outcome of your dish. Slice the tomatoes into thick rounds. Aim for slices that are about ½ inch thick. This thickness will allow the tomatoes to hold their shape during baking while also becoming tender and juicy. Use a sharp knife to ensure clean cuts, and be careful with your fingers. If you have different varieties of tomatoes, feel free to mix them up for a more colorful and flavorful dish. Heirloom tomatoes in particular add a wonderful depth of flavor and a beautiful array of colors. Arrange them on a baking sheet. Make sure to space the tomato slices evenly so they cook uniformly. If the slices are too close together, they might steam instead of roast, which can affect the texture. Lining the baking sheet with parchment paper can help prevent sticking and make cleanup easier. Take your time to arrange the slices neatly, as this will also make your final presentation more appealing. Place a dollop of burrata on each tomato slice. Burrata is a fresh Italian cheese made from mozzarella and cream, and it adds a rich, creamy texture to the dish. If you can't find burrata, you can substitute it with fresh mozzarella or even ricotta. The key is to use a cheese that melts well and complements the sweetness of the tomatoes. Be generous with the cheese, as it will create a delicious, gooey topping that pairs perfectly with the roasted tomatoes. Season with salt and pepper. Don't be afraid to season generously, as the salt will enhance the natural flavors of the tomatoes and the cheese. Freshly ground black pepper adds a nice kick and a bit of complexity to the dish. You can also add other seasonings if you like, such as garlic powder, dried oregano, or a pinch of red pepper flakes for some heat. The goal is to create a well-balanced flavor profile that highlights the freshness of the ingredients. Bake for 15 to 20 minutes until the tomatoes are tender and the cheese is melty. Keep an eye on the oven during the last few minutes of baking to ensure that the cheese doesn't burn. The tomatoes should be soft but still hold their shape, and the cheese should be bubbly and slightly golden. If you prefer a more caramelized top, you can turn on the broiler for the last minute or two, but be careful not to overdo it. The goal is to achieve a perfect balance of textures and flavors. Top with fresh basil leaves. Fresh basil adds a burst of color and a fragrant herbal note that complements the richness of the cheese and the sweetness of the tomatoes. Tear the basil leaves by hand to release their essential oils and enhance their flavor. If you don't have fresh basil, you can use other fresh herbs like parsley, chives, or even a sprinkle of dried Italian seasoning. Serve the dish immediately while it's still warm, and enjoy the delightful combination of flavors and textures. Dinner is served. Section 5. Flavor variations for adventurous cooks. Feeling adventurous? Add a drizzle of balsamic glaze for a tangy twist. Sprinkle some toasted pine nuts for a bit of crunch. Or, for a spicy kick, add a pinch of red pepper flakes. The possibilities are endless. Section 6. Tips from my kitchen to yours. Welcome to another segment where I share my favorite kitchen tips and tricks to elevate your cooking game. Whether you're a seasoned chef or just starting out, these tips will help you create delicious meals with ease. One of the most important aspects of cooking is using the freshest ingredients you can find. Fresh produce not only enhances the flavor of your dishes, but also adds vibrant colors and essential nutrients. Visit your local farmer's market to find the best seasonal vegetables and fruits. They make all the difference. When you use fresh ingredients, you can truly taste the difference in your meals. The flavors are more pronounced, and the textures are more enjoyable. Plus, cooking with fresh produce can be a fun and rewarding experience. Don't be afraid to experiment with different types of tomatoes. There are so many varieties to choose from, each with its own unique flavor and texture. Try using cherry tomatoes for a sweet burst of flavor, or Roma tomatoes for a rich, meaty texture in your sauces. Heirloom varieties add beautiful colors and unique flavors. These tomatoes come in a range of colors from deep purples to bright yellows, and each one has its own distinct taste. Incorporating heirloom tomatoes into your dishes can make them visually stunning and incredibly tasty. Let the burrata come to room temperature before baking for extra creaminess. Burrata is a delicate cheese that becomes even more luscious when it's allowed to warm up a bit. This simple step can make a big difference in the texture and flavor of your dish. Pair it with fresh tomatoes and basil for a classic combination that's sure to impress. Don't forget to use fresh herbs to enhance the flavors of your dishes. Herbs like basil, parsley, and cilantro can add a burst of freshness and complexity to your meals. Chop them finely and sprinkle them over your dishes just before serving to retain their vibrant flavors. Finally, always taste your food as you cook. This allows you to adjust the seasoning and make sure everything is perfectly balanced. A well-seasoned dish can make all the difference between a good meal and a great one. Trust your palate and don't be afraid to make adjustments as needed. With these tips, you'll be well on your way to creating delicious and memorable meals in your own kitchen. Remember, cooking is an art, and the more you practice, the better you'll become. So get in the kitchen, have fun, and let your creativity shine. Section 7. Simple Food, Happy Life. This 3-ingredient dish is proof that cooking can be simple and satisfying. It's perfect for busy weeknights, impromptu gatherings, or when you crave a taste of Italy. Embrace the beauty of simplicity in the kitchen and enjoy the delicious rewards. Section 8. Sharing the joy of cooking. Food brings people together. Share this easy recipe with your loved ones. Teach them how to make it. Enjoy the process of cooking and eating together. These are the moments that matter. Section 9. Your culinary journey starts now. This is just the beginning. Let this recipe inspire you to explore the world of cooking with confidence. Don't be afraid to experiment, try new things, and most importantly, have fun in the kitchen.